I've got a question for you. How are you getting on with your foam-free journey? And particularly at Christmas time. You know all those set piece flower arrangements that you love doing, but you've been doing them in flower foam. How can you adapt and change the techniques and go foam-free this year? Hello there, I'm Julie from Julie Davis Flower Workshops and Flowers Start, the online flower arranging classes. Now today I'm going to make an Advent crown. Not a crown you wear on your head, but a table centrepiece with 4 candles that I can light on each of the 4 Sundays of Lent. Now traditionally, if you were using flower foam, you probably would have used one of those donut shaped wreath forms and made your arrangement that way. And perhaps even added bent floristry wires or cocktail sticks onto the end of your candles, giving them little roots that you would have pushed into your flower foam to hold your candles securely. So come with me as I make a start on my foam-free Advent crown. I'm going to be using an old enamel plate, some candle cups and some museum wax to hold my candles in place. And I'm sure you're thinking, what on earth is she going to put her greenery in? Well, I'm going to use clay. Check it out. Those are my candle cups that are held in place using museum wax. So museum wax is a soft putty of wax. And I will just say you need to allow several hours for your wax to harden off, otherwise they'll slip all over the place and it's much easier to fix them to a flat surface rather than something that's shaped. I'll leave a link to the museum wax in the description underneath this video and also to these little candle cups. I think they come in several different colours. So I've worked ahead of time and prepared my mechanics and let my wax set overnight. And to hold my greenery, my foliage in place, I'm going to use some clay. So again, I bought this online and I'll leave a link to that as well if you're thinking you might like to buy some for yourself to make your own Advent crown. This is 500 grams, like anything you're buying online. Do make sure you know exactly what you're buying. So this is probably the same sort of size as a block of marzipan, and a similar size to a block of butter. This is the messy part. I've already opened my wax and the wax is quite moist, so I have got a cloth with me so I can keep my hands clean. And then of course the wax I don't use, I'll put back in my little bag and tie a knot in it so I can use it for another foam-free arrangement another time. It's a bit like being back at primary school. A very tactile pastime. I'm going to shape my wax into a mound there, and you can see here that I've offset the placement for my candle holders. Part of the reason for that is I can never get my candles to stand upright, and I thought if I gave it a rather asymmetrical look it wouldn't be so obvious that my candles have got a slight bend in them. This is what the museum wax looks like. And it's got a little scooper outer, but I find that quite difficult to use, so I'm going to use an old teaspoon here to get myself some of the wax out. And the great thing about this wax, it will ping off, so if you get your knife and just ease it off, and then you can put the wax back into your container. So I'm going to use this wax just to hold my candles in place. These candles, I quite often use them in class, so they're a little bit bashed, and as I said, they have got a little bit of a kink to them, and I've previously shaped this one to fit the last candle holder that it was in. So I take a little bit of the wax, warm it up in my hand, and I'll add that to the bottom of the candle, and then I can slide that in, and that should hold firmly in place. So the wax is a clear off-white colour and you'll hardly see it. I just need to make sure that when I add in my candles I don't twist them too much to fix, because I may well loosen the fixings with a little candle cup. Might need a little bit more on that one. So the candles are held firmly, but as I say, they have all got a little bit of a kink on them where they've got warm over the summer months. Perhaps this year I should light them and treat myself to a new set of candles for class next time round. I haven't got any Christmas greenery to hand at the moment, and what I'm doing is still hanging on to a little bit of autumn, and what I found for myself is this lovely orangey coloured conifer, not naturally orange. Someone had cut down their conifer trees when I went out for a walk, and they just piled up the branches on the side, so I helped myself to a few. So I shall cut to length. And I place that on top of my clay, and then with the blade of my knife, just press it in a little bit. You can see, because I'm not using fresh materials, I'm not reliant on a water source, but you could make exactly the same Advent crown using your fresh Christmas greenery. Make sure you condition it well ahead of time, so it's in tip-top condition, and if you felt it needed it, you could just give it a spray every now and again. But really, with these Christmas greeneries, they are really robust, and as long as you don't touch them, they shouldn't fall apart. And of course, you want to make sure that if you are going to light your candles, they will burn down. So keep the greenery or the foliage low in order that that doesn't become a fire hazard. I quite like the look of this bay, with just a few of its leaves hanging on. And have you seen this before? It's fasciated. This is fasciated. So I'm not entirely sure the shrub I picked it off. I believe that the fasciation or the deformity in the branch is caused by a fungal infection or perhaps even an insect, but it certainly adds an interesting texture to include into my Advent crown. Just looking at my little tray of goodies here, some lovely autumn leaves. And because I've picked them up and brought them inside, they're kind of curled up a little bit, giving a lovely sense of natural movement. So I'll place the leaf on the top of the clay and just gently push it in with my knife, and that will hold firm. I love these lichen branches. This is elderberry, so you'll spot the bushes in the springtime, April, May, with the white flowers, where you can make your elderflower cordial, and then later on in the summer you can pick the tiny little berries and add them to your favourite jam mix. And it's quite brittle, this, so you can just snap them off when you go on a dog walk. And some more textural branches. I think these are from the London plane tree. They're quite knobbly, almost look like old-fashioned canes. I can remember my mum having an umbrella with a cane handle stick on it, and it looked very similar to this. And lastly, I've got these interestingly shaped oak leaves. I love picking up things when we go for autumn walks, and I can remember I picked these up at Scotney Castle, which is a National Trust property near us in Tunbridge Wells. I'm just going to let these hang inside the tangle of stems. And of course, nearer Christmas, I could make exactly the same table arrangement, but use the traditional greeneries that we associate with the Christmas period. The pine, buried ivy, and lush evergreen foliages, with of course a little bit of Christmas bling. But for now, I'm quite happy with that. My foam-free Advent crown that's dressed up for autumn. So what do you think? Just to show that you can go foam-free with some of your set-piece Christmas arrangements. And I know mine does look totally 100% autumn, but I can't wait for Advent Sunday to arrive. So I think probably I should be lighting my candles, keeping an eye on them, and then enjoying the last little bit of autumn before the countdown to Christmas begins. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments how you're getting on with your foam-free flower arranging journey, and if you've got any ideas for arrangements you'd like me to show you how to make in the run-up to Christmas, do let me know in the comments. That's all from me for now, and I'll see you again next time.